Hello and welcome back to this recap of the second day of the European Adventure Race Championship. We left off yesterday around Viborg with still around 6 or 7 hours to go of the first part of the race. Before they had a catch-up and all the teams were traveled with bus down to more the southern part of Denmark to restart the race. Let's just try to sum up the last part of the first stage of the race. Unfortunately, the live tracking is down right now, so instead I will try to show you on Google Map what we're talking about. On the map right here, I'll just go back to the first stage of the race. We started off in Silkeborg, and they had a lot of different stages here in the beginning of the race, ending up with a lot of mountain bike and also canoe up until they arrived at Skals, where they started out on a long mountain bike stage where we left the teams yesterday. The leading teams was around Ulbjerg Klit, and Masanga was together with the World Peace, the OMM team, around 1 hour ahead of Racing Denmark. Later in the night, these three teams completed all of the rest of the course all the way down to back to Viborg, where we had some climbing or rappelling down a hotel. Actually, we have some footage of that. And you see the teams rappelling down, they look really tight in their legs. This is from the bottom of the hotel they had to rappel down. We also have some footage from the top. And I guess it's Racing Denmark. In around 1 o'clock in the night, with still he's falling down here. I think they're saving him. He should be good by now. Right now, the time of this footage is around 1 in the night, and they still have 2.5 hours to catch the bus. So let's leave him here to go down by himself. Going back to the map, you can see that we'll just turn off the sound. Going back to the map, you could see that here in Viborg they had a bonus course, and I think all the leading teams did this first bonus course, and then they all continued down to the bus pickup point, and only one team did this extra bonus course, and that was the World Peace, the OMM team, and by taking this extra course they gained a lead of around 2 hours on the two other teams. So at the end of the first day, or the first part of the race, Team World Peace, the OMM, had a lead of around 2 hours down to Team Masanga, and behind Team Masanga we had Racing Denmark, which were around half an hour behind, but we don't have the exact time of that, unfortunately. So today, this morning at 3:30 in the morning or in the night, depending on your day rhythm, the bus departed from here, and all the teams were moved down to another area of Denmark called Vejlefjord, all the way down here, where the race had a restart on the Tirsbæk Gods or Tirsbæk Estate, and actually we have some footage of that restart too. The restart, all the teams once again had to do, it was a bit like a prologue, when they had an orienteering race, taking a lot of controls within the small area around the estate. They haven't had the chance to look at this map in advance, so now the teams are moving on. Looking quite fast the teams are right now, or some of the teams at least. I think many of the teams have had a nice around 2 to 3 hours sleep in the bus, so they're picking up more a bit of energy, which was definitely needed for this second part of the race. Doing this new prologue, they also have to swim, which is a major theme of this adventure race. But as you can see, they are not swimming as fast as they did in the start. So this is a small pond just around the estate. After this new prologue around the estate, and the teams have to continue out on a really long and very, very demanding coastering stage, where they had to walk or run on the beach all the way from the estate and all the way out east up until a new estate called Palsgaard, and the stretch was around 42 kilometers, and had it just been a good path or road, it wouldn't have been that demanding, but this was really, really brutal, and I can show you some footage from this part of the race too. And as you can see, a lot of obstacles and really, really demanding coastering here. We have a little bit more.
Very nice. Det ser skide godt ud. Looks really good. Godt Jensemand.
We are following Team Young Riders.
Hvad? Ja, men tak. Er den hård? Ja, der er selvfølgelig lidt i benene fra i går.
They're talking in
Very nice.
and they're talking in Danish, but the team is talking to the race organizer Simon, and they are telling him that it is really nice. But I think they sound quite ironic. So, but anyway, the weather was good, and I guess most of the teams were enjoying, even though the pain in the legs are starting to hit right now, and everybody is getting really, really tired. After this long stage, they continued directly into a new really, really long stage in kayaks, and actually this is the stage that all the teams are on right now. This is once again around 8 hours of kayaking. Fortunately, the weather has been quite good, but anyway, when you have been racing for 2 days now, you really feel the tiredness kicking in. The live tracking is down, but the leading teams should be just around here, and we expect them to leave the kayak stage in around around half an hour or 1 hour. As you can see in this footage here, the weather was really good earlier today. Not a lot of wind, and would have been nice if you hadn't been this tired. And the leading team out in the kayaks is Team Masanga. And this is Team Masanga, and they're still moving. Maybe not running, but definitely moving on, and the spirit seems high. So this is around halfway around the kayaking stage. So as for now, the teams are soon arriving here, and we try to have a live camera up here where the kayak stage ends, but the internet connection in that area is really poor, so it might not be able to show live pictures. In this transition area, they will change to a combined bike and running stage, which is once again really, really long. They will continue westward, going up until Skanderborghus, where they'll have to swim with the bikes over this lake. And we will for sure have live footage from here. And the camera is running right now, but and no one is here yet, but it's looking really beautiful right now. After this, they will continue on and they will get into this area called Ejerbaunhøj, which is the highest point in Denmark, and they are cruising around a lot of different small hilltops, and I think they're reaching the four highest points in Denmark, and there's an ongoing debate of whether one or the other is the highest point, because they are almost the difference between the heights are only around half a meter, and on some of the heights there are old borrow heights above those. So is that a man-made height if it's made 2,000 years ago, or is it like a natural feature? So this is an ongoing debate in Denmark. But after visiting all these heights, they will continue down until a small forest called the Sugar Hill, and this is some of the most brutal terrain you can find in Denmark. It's really, really steep, and it's not a pleasant place to be if you're tired. I think the rules here are that one of the teammates can sleep while the others have to complete this course. Continuing further on the bikes into this area called Edith Lundal, where they will have to leave their bikes and continue on foot for the last run stage, which is a really demanding orienteering race in a very hilly and dense forest. So I expect it to be really technical orienteering. After this, they will have an easy way home on bikes on good path, and they will just go straight back to Silkeborg, where they will arrive at the finish line around 12 o'clock tomorrow. Between 10 or 12 tomorrow we expect them to be there. So that's what we are looking forward to tomorrow. We'll try to make a new live session tomorrow when they arrive at the finish line, and we hope for the tracking to be up online later today. Right now the standing should be that Team Masanga is in the lead. They are leading with around 5 minutes down to the Swedish team Greener Adventure Team, and further 20 or 30 minutes behind we have World Peace, the OMM team, and in fourth position we should have Team Ino SCI from Poland, and the fifth team right now should be Racing Denmark. But in the overall standing this far, World Peace, the OMM should be the leading team because they have an advantage of 2 hours from yesterday. So hope you're enjoying it out there, and yeah, we're looking forward to this race to move on, and we hope for the live tracking to be up again, and at least we will have some live videos from Skanderborg. And yeah, I hope you have a good evening. Bye bye.